Cool, so I'm a DJ, obviously. Go by the name of Walshy, been DJing for 12 years now. I'm an open format DJ, a DJ up and down the country. Got loads of experience when it comes to the clubs, festivals too. And yeah, I love what I do because I love music, so yeah. So how I started DJing, I come from a musical family, like a musical background, so I've always kind of been into music. My uncle has been a DJ for many years, so he was like a big influence from the start when I first started DJing, and I kind of become very like self-sufficient. I used to go to the clubs quite a lot to watch other DJs, watch YouTube and stuff, and yeah, kind of taught myself really, so yeah. So just when COVID started, it was a bit of a weird headspace for me because I had some personal stuff going on. My dad nearly passed away with COVID, so the first protocol for me wasn't really to think about DJing. So through that period of like my dad being in hospital and not knowing whether he was going to make it, I suppose when I was at home just to keep sane, doing the Instagram lives were keeping me engaged with DJing. But at that time, not just speaking about myself but many other DJs, we didn't think we'd be going back in clubs because clubs were the first to close and the last to open. So in that period, I was doing things like working for Amazon and Uber, and it was soul destroying because I've built such a reputation up with working as a DJ, and then to go do something like that, it was soul destroying. So I didn't think I'd be going back to DJing, to be fair. So yeah, man. It was just like, well, I've invested so much time and effort and all these years into becoming a professional DJ. It's like, what do I do now? I've invested all this time. Like, I don't know where to start. I wouldn't know like what other profession to go in. So it was a bit up in the air really. But I suppose just being on Instagram and networking with other DJs, we was just trying to keep the dream alive during lockdown. Yeah, man. It was a bit up in the air. Obviously, I've previously touched on like nearly losing my dad during COVID, and thankfully he pulled through, which was a miracle. But I definitely learned a lot of like new heights during COVID to do with mental health. I've had like previous experiences with mental health, but one thing that I learned during COVID and that was new to me was anxiety. So, the thought of losing my dad, not going back to a job that I love, the source of income, not being able to see my friends and family, it all got a bit too much, and it just, it created anxiety, and, I've learnt to live with it since then. Things have got easier. But I think the main thing out of that I didn't realise at the time, when I was like a lot more busier before COVID, was that in my sociable time to see my friends, that was my outlet to disguise my mental health. And then with all these things happening, that's what kind of heightens the anxiety really. So yeah, suffered quite badly with it. General consensus, COVID's changed me as a person in many ways, and obviously as a DJ too. Without getting into the technicalities of it, it's just obviously changed the way I DJ too. So you've got TikTok now, and people's attention spans are just a lot more faster, so you've got to play music a lot more faster. You've got to be like just on job, just keeping look at the crowd and just seeing what they're interested in. So I definitely think it's changed a lot, but I think it's been a silver lining, I'd say. So I mean, in the year 2022, it's been a great year for me DJing, and it's actually been a new thing for me that I haven't caught this many flights this year than I ever have in my life, even just going on holiday. So it's been a great experience. Big shout out to my guy Jack Fowler, he's brought me on board. I've been touring with him, and it's literally just networking, man. It's just putting yourself out there. Doesn't matter if it's a networking event, going to another club, going to see another DJ, whatever it is, just putting yourself out there, networking with people, talking, and insight in mind. That's what I say. Outside, out of mind. You get the analogy there. So it's just literally networking, and I definitely want to continue that because I felt like that's what I started my job to do those kind of bookings. So yeah.